Hello everybody, this is your midwife of the soul, Cher Friedman, and I'd like to explain why my video that I made over a week ago now was banned by YouTube and it was taken down, and that is because I used some terminology that was interpreted wrongly. Let's just say that. And I promise not to do that again. So, I just wanted to at least call attention to that's what happened, if any of you tried to look at that video. So where I am right now is looking into the woods, which is the view I see from my kitchen window. I wanted to explain how it came to be that I consider myself a midwife of the soul, because there are different meanings and definitions for that. Originally, maybe it was a midwife or somebody that is like a death doula who helps souls transition, to passing on to in death. And I consider that the work I do as a psychotherapist is in a way helping to transform or transition souls who are living into higher versions of themselves and to become who they were really meant to be. And so I do want to explain how this vision came about. So when I refer to looking at the view that you see here as looking out my kitchen window, it came to me in a dream I had 47 years ago. At that time, I was living in West Texas, which is very, dry, and there's red clay in the soil, and there are dust storms, and there are not many deciduous trees like the ones you see in this video. It's just very, maybe mesquite bushes, which aren't even really trees. But what that is to say is that when I had that dream, something else happened. That's what I saw outside my kitchen window while standing in front of this future home and this property that has woods on it and it's heavily forested. But there was something else. The reason that I was there in the house in the dream was very potent, and it was something I didn't understand until looking for a home to buy in 2018. And I came to this home, it was empty, and I looked out the window of the kitchen and saw this view and thought, oh my gosh, that is the dream I had in Texas. There's a lot more details in that dream, but I never really was able to connect all the dots until moving here. So what happened in the dream is that women in various stages of pregnancy were coming to my property, the home that looks like where this is, only this was in Texas, so it was nothing I'd ever seen before. The dream, that is. And they were in various stages of pregnancy coming to ask for help in delivering their babies at home. And my question was, okay, what's going on? Why they did not want to give birth in the hospital? And I asked why. And they said because they did not want their newborn infants to receive a certain intervention that was going to be transmitted into the forehead of the newborn babies, and they therefore chose to avoid the hospital at all costs, and even to have a home birth, even though they didn't apparently know anybody at that time to help them, and they were coming to me. Well, back then when I was in my early 20s, at the time of this dream, I set out to think, okay, well, maybe this dream is telling me I'm supposed to become a midwife, an actual midwife, and help women that want to give birth at home. So I started on a journey to get my education in nursing, went to nursing school, became a nurse, and was looking into the next step of becoming a certified nurse midwife. Well, a lot of life happened, and it'll probably be interesting to some of you to read about my teaching memoir in the book I'm writing, Midwife of the Soul, Turning Trauma into Triumph. But I'm going to focus now on what led to that journey, how I got to think of myself as midwife of the soul when I wanted to be a midwife, a certified nurse midwife. As I said, a lot of things happened. I had 7 children of my own and raised them, and I didn't see a way to fit being a midwife into my life. When I was a nurse, I was beginning to think, well, this isn't how I envisioned being a nurse. I thought being a nurse was going to mean I could help people stay healthy and help them. I mean, I think maybe I was a little discouraged because I thought, wow, being a nurse is like being a handmaiden to the pharmaceutical industry, and I'm not sure I like that. So I ended up becoming a single mother with 4 younger children still at home, and having to figure out how to provide for them. So all of my hopes and dreams for career had to be put on hold. So while I was doing that and graduated from college, it took me 20 years to actually get my undergrad degree because of various different things in my life, but I was persistent and did it part-time, and 1 or 2 courses at a time over the course of the 20 years raising my children, homeschooling them, and just a lot of different life experience. So when I graduated and then went on to grad school, I was thinking that I wanted to do something that would be in the helping profession, something that I could use the nursing background and also the degree in educational psychology, school psychology I had also received. So I did some more thinking. I still was working like 3 jobs all at the same time while I was thinking and trying to support my children still at home. And it occurred to me that maybe I should just get something like licensed clinical therapist or counselor. So that's what I did. And it never really dawned on me that, look, this is a form of birthing. It's a form of helping the soul birth and transition through some really dark times. When you are a therapist, you get into some really deep stuff and helping clients. So it was my last semester of grad school in a clinical counseling program. Received a Master of Science in Clinical Counseling, and we were to give a presentation about what we envisioned our approach to counseling would be. And that's when I developed the whole idea. It just all came to me. Like, oh, this is what that dream meant. This is what I'm supposed to do to become a midwife of the soul is helping, again, my clients to just set in motion that birthing process that allows them to expand their consciousness, maybe to leave restrictive situations, or finally see the light at the end of the dark tunnel. And it could be metaphorically the birth tunnel. So I gave the presentation and I felt really good about it. I thought, this is it. This is my calling. This is my vocation. I don't think it's going to ever mean that I'm going to actually deliver babies in a physical sense. But there was something about seeing these woods and looking out the kitchen window, just as I was looking out the kitchen window in my dream, that just sort of, again, brought something that maybe I had forgotten, that my soul had forgotten, and let me just to start thinking, wow, is that supposed to happen? Is something supposed to happen here in this house? Will there be pregnant women, or is that a metaphor too? So to learn more about that, you will have to probably wait for the next video, or whenever the book gets published, Midwife of the Soul, and it will tell you more. But for now, I just encourage everybody to just raise their vibrations however they can, out in nature, just being still within themselves and just getting intimate with their soul. So, and get ready for soul birthing. Namaste, y'all.